The good thing is this kind of curd act as a probiotic, and as we know what is probiotic, probiotic are the living microorganisms which when we put in our mouth in a proper doses, it will generate extreme health. So now let's try to understand what are the properties of these curd. This kind of curd is hot in potency and sour in taste. Not extremely sour, but almost sour in taste. Good thing is if the people they are suffering from anorexia, curd is extremely beneficial for them because it is hot in potency, so it balances digestive fire, and anorexia most of the times happens because of imbalanced digestive fire, and ultimately your willingness to eat food will come back. After that comes like what is the season that you, which season you should take curd and why. For example, according to Ayurveda, what is the best season not to take curd? That is spring and autumn. In spring season and in autumn, you should never take curd. So there is a reason behind that. Why? Because in spring season, there is a natural tendency in the body to aggravate the Kapha dosha. And if you are taking curd during this season, it will help to aggravate Kapha dosha more. Then if you are taking curd during spring season, then it will cause various Kapha related disorders like sinusitis, chest infections, throat infections. So it will become very common if you start eating curd in summer. In the same way, if you start taking curd in autumn season, so in autumn season what happens, there is a natural tendency of the body to enhance the heat in the system. So it's a natural tendency like where you have a Pitta dosh elevation. It's naturally happen in our body. So during this season if you again start eating curd and curd is hot in potency, then it will start generating disorders like ulcerative colitis or acidity or some kind of peptic ulcer disease or some kind of acidity burning kind of sensation. So all these problems happens because if you start eating curd in autumn. So in autumn and in spring the curd is totally contraindicated. But it is advisable to eat curd in rainy season. Why is it so? Because in rainy season there is a natural tendency of the body to aggravate Vata. And curd has a potency to elevate the Vata dosha, it reduces Vata dosha. So it is highly recommended like during rainy season if you want to avoid all these body pains which happens in rainy season, especially due to elevated Vata dosha. If you start eating curd, it will help to subside these kind of body pains. At the same time in Ayurveda, a lot of importance has been given like what time of the day you should eat curd. If you want to eat curd, you can eat curd during the day in the morning or in the afternoons, but you should never have curd during night. So there is a reason behind it, because in night there is a natural tendency of the body to sleep, because during night there is a natural tendency of the body to raise the Kapha dosh levels. Because of these Kapha dosh levels we are able to sleep proper. But if we are eating curd also at night, that is also responsible for enhancing Kapha dosha. Then that means there is a lot of enhancement of Kapha dosha, and when this Kapha got aggravated in a big way, it will be responsible for blockage of various channels in the body, and ultimately it will produce the diseases. There is also another concept attached, like why not to eat curd at night, because when we eat curd at night it disturbs your digestive fire, then because a lot of Kapha dosha that will disturb your digestive fire, and food will not be digested properly, and when food is not digested properly it will cause the formation of toxins or ama, which get deposited in various parts of our body and ultimately will invite chronic ailments. So that's why a lot of importance has been given. If you are eating curd, please eat during the day, afternoons. So try to avoid curd eating during night. So now let's try to understand what are the combinations of curds that we can use with food, and what are the things that we should not use with curd. Especially these fruits like muskmelon or watermelon, you should not combine curd with these two fruits, because with this muskmelon or watermelon, if you are eating curd, in many cases it's been seen that they cause diarrhea. So it's a opposite combination. It's a no combination food according to Ayurveda. In addition to that, curd should not be eaten with sour fruits, like very citrus fruits. If you are eating very citrus fruit, you should not make any combination of these citrus fruits with curd, because that will also disturb your digestive fire. At the same time, there is a fruit in India that's called jamun or blackberries. So you should also do not prepare any dish that include blackberries and curd. That is also not beneficial for health. Most of the times, because these are modern dishes people are preparing, and many times they start heating curd. It's been seen, like in most of the houses, it's been seen like to innovate something new, they heat curd. So according to Ayurveda, you should always avoid heating curd, because when you heat curd, it will kill all probiotic properties of the curd. That means it will kill all the bacteria, and then curd will not become beneficial for eating. So, what are the other things with which you can eat curd? You can eat curd with palm sugar or sugar if you want to have sugar. So, you can have curd with sugar. But if you are diabetic and you don't want to have curd with sugar, you can use curd with green grams. Or even if you are not diabetic, still you can use curd with green grams, sprouted green grams. They are very beneficial. Like, let's suppose you have prepared some dish which includes green grams, and with that combination, if you want to add curd into it, you can use it, because it will enhance health. In addition to that, you can also use Indian gooseberry powder, that is amla powder, in curd if you want to eat, because it is also very beneficial for those who have weak digestion. So this was about curd, but there are various other medicinal properties of the curd also, with which we can create separate dishes, and we can use these dishes for boosting our health and our immunity. There is a very medicinal dish of curd that we call it in Ayurveda as takra. Takra is extremely beneficial for your health, for your digestion, and we also call it as buttermilk.